Hello and welcome to another phototutorial on image editing. In this session we're going to take a look at the free image editor Photopea.com and look at how we can create first of all a black and white conversion and then how we can colour pop an image. So to start off with, just type in Photopea.com into your browser and press enter. First thing you notice is there's quite a few similarities with Photoshop in terms of layout and style. First thing we're going to do is go to the file menu and choose open and open the image that we'd like to convert to black and white. So I'm going to use this image of Lincoln Cathedral. And then we're going to go over to the layers panel and down to the new adjustment layer icon, which is exactly like Photoshop. Click on that icon and then we're just going to scroll up until we come to black and white. And that immediately gives us a black and white adjustment. So notice we're not just yanking the saturation slider to the left and stripping the image of colour. We actually have separate colour channels we can work on to improve the overall look of the image. So if I target the blue channel and then if I take that to the left, you can see there's an immediate darkening effect, and so I have control over the sky. If that's the ultimate aim, just to darken that down. So it does give us quite a bit of control. And again, you can see where there's any reds in the image just by moving the sliders back and forth. And so you can basically customize the image by working on these separate color channels until you get the type of conversion that you're looking for. Once that's been complete, you can always go over to the toolbox and use additional tools here. For example, we have the dodge tool to lighten, so we can selectively lighten parts of the image, and we have the burn tool to darken. So that's really good. It gives us quite a lot of flexibility in terms of using those tools. So if we wanted to do that after we've applied that black and white adjustment, then we can just simply go to the layer menu and then choose flatten. And once those layers have been condensed, we could then use the dodge tool to lighten. Then we come up to the options bar here, check on the exposure and check which part of the image we're working on. So we're either working on the darkest bits and the shadows, the mid-tones, that's just the central part, or the highlights, the brightest bit. And then we have another control here where we can increase the size of our brush. Just cancel that. So brush is quite small at the moment, so just go to size, increase that, and then notice the hardness is on 100%, so a very hard brush. So we just take that down and that would give us a better brush to work with, and then we can just selectively lighten parts of the image. Or if you're wishing to darken parts of the image, go back to the toolbox, select the burn tool. Again, check out the adjustments you can make. So we can increase the size of that brush, take down the hardness again, and then the areas that you want to selectively darken, you can just simply paint over. So you may want to darken the corners and just apply a touch of a subtle vignette. So that is the first project, just basically creating a black and white adjustment. I'm not going to save that because that's just purely for demonstration purposes. So we'll close that file and then just go to a new one. And so the second project is just basically going to involve color popping an image. So first of all, I've opened up an image which should work quite well because there's a lot of red in the image. So this technique is also known as selective color, where you basically leave one color in an image, it can be any color you choose, and then the rest you convert into black and white. So the way we're going to do that, you can see that the tram is opened on the background layer, back to the adjustment layer icon, and then we're basically going to choose black and white. Now, again, if there's any different adjustments that you're wishing to make, so we can again target the sky. So by reducing the blues and going negative, -165, I can actually achieve a much darker effect in the sky. I can lighten the reds if I choose, or darken them again by just taking the red slider down. See if there's any yellows in the image, so you'd expect there to be quite a lot in the brickwork, and you can see as I move the yellows, there's quite a lot of yellow in that image. So you get the idea how you can selectively craft your image just simply by using a black and white adjustment layer rather than just yanking that saturation slider to the left and stripping an image of saturation. So we're next going to target the layer mask. So by clicking on that layer mask for the black and white adjustment layer, that is now selected. We can see it's selected, it has a border around it, and then I can go to my brush tool. So with the brush tool selected, again we go up to the options bar, and then we can just increase the size of our brush. So just go back to that once more, increase the size, and then reduce the hardness. And then what we're going to do is paint with black. So in the toolbox we can see black is the foreground colour. I can zoom in onto my bus here by pressing Command and ++, just like in Photoshop, the instruction to shortcut rather to zoom in. If you're on a Windows PC, Control and ++ to keep on zooming in. So you get the idea. I can actually paint. So what we're doing is revealing the colour in the layer below just simply by painting on that layer mask. If you wish to draw a straight line, if you click to start, then hold the Shift key down and click, you can draw a straight line. So I'm going very quickly, but it's basically just to give you an idea. If you make a mistake, you can always use your history panel right here, so I can step back if I make a mistake, and you just basically keep going until you reveal the colour that you wish to show. So if I go back to File and Open, we should have a similar one that's been completed. And so slightly different image, but this one has been colour popped, so the red has been brought out in parts of the image and the orange in the lady's bag, and so that gives you an overall idea of what the colour popping or selective colour technique is all about. And we can do that for free just using the free image editor Photopea. Thank you very much for watching.